Hello, Fockers. This is your last official tutorial on how to deal with your life here at Fox Society before we make the move on over. The first part is how to deal with your profile page, and the second part is how to delete your profile. So let's go ahead and deal with part one, how to deal with the stuff on your profile page. And the very first thing that we're going to deal with is your About Me section. So if you took any time to fill out your bio or just a little blurb about yourself and you want to save it because you don't want to have to retype it or rethink, we're going to do this like we've done all the other things where you're going to left click, hold your mouse down, drag it up until you get to wherever you want to stop it. Once you've highlighted the area that you want to copy, right click, select copy, and you can either open a Word document or a notepad. I prefer notepad because it's easier to save things without a lot of code. So I'm going to open up a notepad. Once the notepad is open, I'm going to again right click, paste, and we're going to save as. As always, you want to save it to your desktop just for easier management. I'm going to save this as the About Me blurb and save. So what else is there on your profile page? Well, you've got your blogs. And now if you've published all your blogs, they will have been found in the magazine and the All About Me. But what if you created a draft? You're not going to find that anyplace else but on your profile page in your blog section. And you want to view all to be able to get to all of your blogs. And how do you know that you have a draft? Well, see here how it shows you a star. It shows that this was published. But if you see this little save, it looks like a little old floppy disk, it's going to show you as the draft. So if you want to decide which drafts that you never published you want to save, that's your prerogative. If you want to delete them, that's your prerogative again. And it's a really easy thing to do to delete. See here where it says delete blog. Just click on that. Okay, are you sure? Once you delete it, there's no undoing it, so click on OK, and you've deleted it. If you want to save it, then you want to do the same thing that we showed you in the very first tutorial on how to box up your blogs or the magazine. Just follow those tips how to save it. So what else is there? You want to go ahead and back to your profile page, scroll down, and there's one last thing that's going to be on your page that you can't find anywhere else, and that's your wall posts. And one of the things that people always asked me about was what was the difference between the wall post and the latest activity that was up here. That was the first thing that you saw when you first logged on. Your latest activity wall, that is what you would find in your lobby, on your lobby page. This is just a little small condensed version of what was on the lobby. This is what you find on your profile page. So this is your latest activity wall. And there is no expanding this. This is just however much shows up on the wall shows up. But your wall is what people would post now. Consider it graffiti to your profile page or a message wall. This is where people directly comment on your wall and your wall alone, and only your friends, people that you clicked as friends, would be able to see this activity. So why would you want to bother with any of this? Well, you may have posted some things over the 2 years that we've been around, or somebody might have posted something to you that you want to cherish as a keepsake. So to be able to see everything that's ever been posted to your wall, you want to click on View All, and it's going to take you to this page. And this is everything that you or anybody else has ever posted. And say, for instance, you want to save what's on your wall page. There's a very easy way to do this. You want to click on Edit, and this is only if you've posted this. Edit, then anywhere here in this little tiny box, you want to left click so that you're showing that this is the foreground program that you're going to be copying. Right click, select all, then right click again, and copy. And then you want to take this. This is going to be your HTML format. This is how this is saved. So you want to open up a notepad. Then again, click on anywhere in the middle of this box to bring this program to the foreground. You want to right click and paste. And now this little thing that I posted on my wall is saved. I'm going to save it as, again, I want to save it on my desktop. And I'm going to save it as Led Zeppelin wall post, just so I can remember it. Now I know, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. That was my Led Zeppelin post. Now what if I want to say, I want to save something, oh, I'm sorry, you have to X out of that. So say, for instance, what if I want to save something that somebody else posted to my wall? So let me find something here. Let's say right here. CK posted this, and I, for whatever reason, I want to save it. So there's two ways. I can either save this to a Word file or a notepad. Again, my personal preference is notepad, but you save it in whatever program you feel most comfortable. You want to left click and then hold your mouse down to drag so you can highlight it. And you only want to highlight what you want to copy. Then right click, copy, open a notepad, right click, paste, and then I'm going to save it as on my desktop as wall notes. There you go. So now I've saved that. So that's dealing with all of your wall posts. So you might want to scroll through, and if there's anything that you want to save, whatnot, there you go. So that's about it. There's one more thing, background. So say for instance my background, I didn't create a background. My background is the site's background. But let's say for instance you took the time to really develop a nice background. You want to, let's find one with a good background. We'll go to my American Dream Warrior page because that one has a very customized background. So there we go. I can either go to members to try and find it, or I can go, and this can go for you too. You can save whatever background that you've seen one of the members have and you want to save it because you think it's interesting or cool or whatever. You can save just a background. So I can either use my members page to try and find, I can use the advanced search feature to try and find the profile page of the one I'm looking for, or I can search it. This search engine right there, that's an internal search engine. It brought me up American Dream Warrior, so I'm going to pull up that page. Now, Google Chrome is an absolute, I hate it, pain in the butt to save background. So first, what I'm going to do is pull up Firefox, because Firefox and Internet Explorer on saving background works exactly the same. So let me pull up the Firefox browser and let me do the same thing. Let me go find it and see it popped up. So I'm going to go click on over to the American Dream Warrior profile page. Now remember, I'm not logged in as ADW. I'm logged in as myself, but I want to save this background. I have two profiles. I don't want to switch back and forth logging in and off, so I can go ahead and handle it this way. But say for instance you wanted to save this background as well. In Firefox and Internet Explorer, you want to find any place where there's background. You want to right click and then see how all these different, it gives you different little places that you could do this. So I want to view background image. Now it just gives me the background image. So right click again, and I want to save image as. And again, you want to save it to the desktop. And see how it already popped in the name that this is actually saved under. You can save it under whatever you want to, but this is what it's called, Creepy Castle Scene, so we're going to save it, and this is going to save to my desktop. Now, And again, this is how it works on Internet Explorer. As a matter of fact, on Internet Explorer, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not opening up that browser because it's going to take too long, but if I'm not mistaken, on Internet Explorer, it's just one step. Right click somewhere in the profile area, and then it'll ask you save background image as, and then so it's one less step. Google Chrome, it really is. It really is a pain in the butt. So scroll down somewhere where you see background. Right click, and you want to use view page source. Be prepared for what's about to pop up. And this is what you're going to see. This is all the HTML and CSS coding that goes into writing a page. Ignore all of it. I know it's incredibly overwhelming, but ignore all of it. You want to, over here to your right click and hold down and bring the scroll bar all the way down to the bottom page. All the way down to the bottom. All the way down to the bottom. Here. And now you're at the bottom. And see where you have this long link. Don't even worry about what it says or what it doesn't. This is pretty standard for any page that you're on. If there's background images, click on it. Okay, so now you see all of this code right here. This other page has popped up, and it's, oh my God, overwhelming. Don't let it overwhelm you. Just kind of scroll down. It should be roughly about middle of the page is usually when you'll find the background image link. Okay, there it is. So it says background image, and this is where the actual image is stored online. Because any background image that you upload is going to have to be stored online somewhere. And this is true for most pages. You want to left click to highlight it. And then while it's highlighted, you can either copy it and throw it up in your browser line, or you could just right click on it and it'll tell you go to where this image is located. And then it'll go ahead and load it for you. And then once it's done loading, it's pretty much the same thing. Right click, save image as. As usual, you want to save it to your desktop. Again, it popped in the name of the image. You want to go ahead and save. And there you go. That's how you save in Google Chrome. It really is such an absolute pain. So personally, I don't usually use Google Chrome when I'm saving background images, just because you just have to do all of this. It just seems rather ridiculous. There's also one other way to save a background, and that's using your profile designer. It has been one of my biggest pieces of grief in running this site is having this here, because it has been so inconsistent. It's half the times it's there, half the times it's not there. I'm constantly having to refresh this program on the back end, but it really has been a bit of a pain. What you want to do too, this is your last way to get a background image. As you could see on my homepage, I didn't use on my Liz Tyler page, I didn't use a background because I just used the site background. But say for instance, this is where I would have inserted the image URL for it to use as my background. So this is where it would be. So if you happen to log in and you happen to see that this program is open, this open profile designer, if it's on and it's working, awesome. Then what you want to do is just open that, grab the URL where you saved it, and then after that, do however you do to save the image. The only other thing that's left is your profile pic. You should have it somewhere on your page, but let's say you decided to use a cartoon or something and you didn't save it and you lost it and you want to save it. This would have been covered under saving photos, but as a really quick refresher, you want to save image as. Wait for the dialog box to open. Save image as the profile pic. Enter, and it's saved. So this is in saving content, background, and images from your profile page that you want to save. This is the end of part 1. Part 2 is going to deal with how to delete your page.